Ruby's delusions just keep getting deeper and deeper and scarier with each page that I read in this journal. And we're going to continue on our journey into this journal in today's video. Hello Sofa Squad and welcome back to the sofa. Sofa's back here, Roscoe's with us. He's gently sleeping. My name's Paul. I'm gently awake. Like I said, today we're going to continue on our journey into the journal. This is Ruby Frankie's journal. We're going to read the next little installment. I'm basically doing 10 pages at a time for these videos. It's kind of the amount of time that I can dedicate to it and get through it because it's so heavy, it's so dark, it's so twisted. And these next 10 pages are pretty full-length pages we're going to be going through. Now, if you are just listening in or whatever, this is part 3. So go start from part 1 so you can do them in order. However, if you don't want to do that and you're just picking up here, just know the first 2 are horrible actions by Ruby, and this one's no different than that. So, there you go. Let's sum it up. It's the horrible things she's done to her kids, and she's documented every last bit of it, but also her mindset. That is one thing that's been very fascinating for me, is reading like her mindset behind this, and it's absolutely frightening. So, anyways, what we're going to do is just start reading. I'll put them on the screen. You can read along with me, or just listen to me do them. If you want to follow Roscoe and I outside of here, we are on the Instagram. It's in the description. It's on the screen. Give it a follow, and let's go ahead and get into it now. Remember, we're picking up where we left off. Okay, so at the top it says 8:18 p.m. Just over 12 hours after finding R, teaching class and leaving, Jody sends me a text. I found the land. This is horrible. The devil does not want us to take R and E out of society. He did not want Jody finding this property. He wanted Jody and I down at the police station at 8:18 p.m., not discovering a place to bring intervention to his entanglement of my children. Oh, how good the Lord is to those who risk everything to follow him and bring offers to him. The hosts of heaven are on our side. My children will never know the sacrifices and lives put on the line to offer a chance for their salvation. My God. That's what this is all about, is this self-fulfilling ego thing for her. R can only think that he likes the taste of milk and reading again. I'm sure he does. July 16th, 2023. Last night I tied myself to R, full night of sleep, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. No interruptions. R showers while I watch. My God. I shower while R is in the closet. I can see the closet door as I shower R puts chicken, rice, beans, lentils, and cheese on a corn tortilla. 3 sets of 10 push-ups. Reads Theo Paratus or something. I can't pronounce that word. Jody is on her way home. E spent the something ride lying down with face facing the back of the seat. She doesn't know where they went or why. The thing with this that gets me is like every moment of the day she is putting these kids through this awful treatment. There is no normal action that goes on in the house without her doing this to the kids. I cannot imagine what it was like to live under her rule. It sounds like an absolute nightmare. Now, we haven't even gotten here, at least on this channel, to reviewing the footage of like them opening that door in the at Jody's, the evidence of the area where the kids were kept and all this type of stuff. It's horrible, okay? I'm just like, but this blows my, I'm just like, and it's all under this, it's God, and, and this and that, the children are possessed, and I'm just like, the only evil one I see here is Lori and Jody, but not to them, nope, absolutely not, blows my mind. Okay, let's go on. One might ask, as I myself have, what if we had taken this slower? Would the children have been on board if we hadn't boundaried them so quickly and so clearly? What if, instead of a full day of box carrying, we would have done an hour and breaks and reading and back to boxes? My answer is, well, yes, the kids would have complied, but they would not be repenting, and they would have given the impression they something repenting. They needed things to get hard first, or fast, intense, shocking change, immediate discomfort, stress to their systems. Why? Because they divulged their secrets. They could have confessed in truth, taking personal responsibility for the discomfort they were causing. Now the next is blacked out. Change the environment of the kids slowly and more reasonably or comfortably. We would have allowed the dumb hypnosis and sleep to stay over the child. We needed to wake the child up to the state of reality. Show them where they really are, the pit of hell. The hope was that they would choose to go to God for forgiveness, to admit their awful state. Instead, they hid. They wanted to lie to themselves that they did wasn't that bad, that what they did wasn't that bad, that they were the victims. Imagine that. Me and Jody are the persecutors. That me and Jody are the persecutors. That burning in hell isn't real. That God is something, that God is that mad, that God that doesn't even exist. They deny the power of God. And again, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, she's like, how dare they think they're the victims and that we're the persecutors. I don't know if Jody or if Ruby really believes this. We see that she basically just goes with whatever. To me, her motivation with Jody, her and Jody were both self-serving. It was an ego thing. And so they went down this pathway, and I think the ultimate end of it was attention and maybe money, depending on who you're talking to. And so I don't know if Ruby really believed this, because I just feel like if she really did, that this could be an insanity plea right here. I mean, this stuff doesn't even make sense what she's talking about. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that there's not some level of say if you're a very religious person, okay, I can understand that, but what this goes into this level of way out there stuff. And again, this whole thing of we had to shock their systems and make them carry boxes all days and do crazy stuff that I'm just like, why? What? I don't understand. And then again, I just keep going back over the fact that Kevin's staying away this whole time absolutely flies all over me. I'm just like, I mean, these kids, they needed somebody to come rescue them, preferably the father. Let's continue on to the next page. It says, I told R today that he is sedating his choices to do wickedly. I don't want that anymore. My response, yes, you do. You stood alone with only you and your choices, and you literally withstand it. You ran away. You refused to stand with your choices. Find now you are in the house with milk, AC, and a book, and you quite like it, don't you? R, yes, ma'am. Me, if you really didn't want evil anymore, you would say, Mom, thanks for the book, but I want to do boxes today, or I want to stand with my choices. You won't do that, will you? No, ma'am. Me, see, I want to make it clear to you, you have not made any shifting or change. You are something downing your soul. R goes back to writing, yes, ma'am. Weak-minded, undisciplined brat. Note to myself, I never clearly saw the devil and wickedness until recently, because I didn't see evil clearly. I didn't combat him. I padded something and placated wickedness. My love of God was sincere, but assumed others' love for God was sincere as well. I was deceived. I mean, come on. I wonder what her family thinks about this. I mean, because basically what she's saying here is, by her child, a kid not saying, I want to go stand out in the sun all day long, Mom, or I want to carry boxes up and down the stairs all day long, 8 hours, and that means they're evil. Does she want? This is what my thing is. Does she want to do that? This is why I would love to see them sentence this to her in jail. Okay, wake up, get up, start carrying these boxes up and down the unit all day long. And if you don't ask for it, you're gonna get it more. It makes zero sense in the fact that she wrapped her mind around this, but then all of a sudden, her fake apology. I thought I was leading my children to this, and it was Jody. Please. You know exactly what you were doing. Exactly what you were doing. Absolutely feeble-minded. Okay, continuing on. July 19th, 2023, Wednesday. July 20th, it was blacked out, so then down July 23rd, 2023, Sunday. To begin a separation from evil toward God, all the darkness needs exposed to light. And once the lies and sin is revealed, the body must engage in good work. The body must engage in good work. And the good works needs to be painful. Otherwise, the service becomes another feel-good distraction. A day of fasting and prayer for me after learning my children have been spawns of Satan. Oh my God. I mean, come on, honey. Get down off the damn cross. We need the wood for the fire. I mean, Jesus. R has been out of control. Pee, poop, lie, steal, run away. E, crying, wailing. You could not know what this has been like unless you were here. Jody and I took E out to the desert. She refused to stand quiet and would scream and scream. Jody found a reservation cemetery, something cemetery. She went out in the heat, barefoot. E still tried to run. She screamed for another family. Water, food, came something on blank, a manipulative plug. You are loved. And after a couple of hours of down in the road of screaming and speaking nonsense, blank finally laid down in the road quiet. We took her home. I mean, this is what they fill their time doing. This is what shocks me. This is what they fill their time doing. These bizarre experimental things on these kids. Right? That they're not, again, willing to do themselves. And it's screaming, I mean, you see the desperation in the kids. It's like, no wonder he was able to escape finally and run, get help. I mean, this was never going to... This whole thing of taking them out in the desert heat and making them do this bizarre stuff is insane. How they wrap their minds around this, and the fact that they sit here and literally don't think they did anything wrong and are doubling down on it, talking about we need to be able to raise our children the way we want to, is even more shocking. They have learned nothing, okay? Nothing. We took ENR out and Jay the next day. ENR bare feet to increase the discomfort. I mean, and decrease the running away. See, I mean, they know. The kids are wanting to run away, of course. I mean, they're trying to save their lives at this point, right? I mean, this is what's insane about it. So this is the thing of like, they have to know that what they're doing is wrong. I cannot see how they want it. So let's keep going. Okay. The task at hand was to weed the cemetery. Huge sagebrush, potties, thorns, broken glass, garbage all over. We spent a couple hours filling black bags and G. Joe's truck bed. The kids began to mellow out a bit. R looked for shade and chanting. We went out the next day and again today. 5 hours of weed pulling. I mean, my God. R finally started getting the hang of it. This is getting easier. I feel I'm getting stronger. I want to pull the weed out of my heart. What am I doing with my life? I don't want to live like this anymore. All children need this experience of pulling obnoxious weeds, sweating in the sun, working while thirsty, and knowing what doing an anonymous act of service feels like. They are each begging to see how nice the cemetery looks. After days of their hard work. Yesterday, R was devious and put his head in the toilet. He said he was hot and wanted to cool off. Jody and I reflected how disgusting and deviant this is. It's a problem that R has no problem being gross. He's desperate. This is what, I mean, the fact that they sit there and do these horrible things to the kids, and then when they do things out of survival, they're deemed as like, oh, gross and deviant. Who would put their head in the toilet? Probably drinking out of the toilet too for desperation to try and stay alive. Again, I can't believe the kids survived this. I'm shocked they lived through this. Blows my mind. Okay, let's keep going. July 25th, 2023, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30 a.m. women's group. Oh, good Lord. I mean, let's see what rubbish Jody's trying to peddle here. 8:30 a.m. Ruby takes ER and J to Chewitz Cemetery to the cemetery. Each child is given a bag to pick up broken glass and weeds. We work for about 15 minutes, and red vehicle with a woman Indian shows up. She sits and watches us for about 15 minutes, taking pictures or video. Remember now they've put this up here, because again, it's like, what are these kids doing? Like, why are you making them do this, right? I tell the kids to stay right by me and keep their faces from being pictured. We continue to pull weeds. The woman gets out of her vehicle and walks towards me. What are you doing here? You don't belong here. This isn't your land. You are trespassing. I tell her I'm weeding. She tells me, how would you feel if I came poked around your cemetery? What are you stealing? Me, nothing. We are weeding, picking up trash. She wants to know what's in the bags. I say weeds and broken glass. You can see for yourself. She tells me to leave the bags and get off her land. It's not good enough for you that we come and take all our land, and now you want more. What you have isn't good enough. You have to come and take our cemeteries too. What's wrong with you? You were not raised right. So much disrespectful. I mean, amen. But this is what I'm talking about. And Ruby is going to interpret this as she's doing all this good stuff, and it's like, it's not even your land. It's somebody. I mean, this is the type of person you're dealing with. I told her I do not mean any disrespect. I'm honoring your people. I'm offering. She would not let me get any words in. I collect my children and walk to the car. She yells at the kids that they will grow up to be just like their mother. White, full of privilege. Mind your own business. Get out. I'm filing a police report. I tell the kids to get into the car. She wants me to wait so she can get a good photo of us. The license plate. I don't think so. We drive off as she stumbles to get her camera app up. This woman was projecting all her anger, aggression onto me. She told me I was walking around acting like I owned the place when that is what she was doing. She wasn't raised right. She was disrespectful. We something and talked to ENR about this woman was attacking us with her distortion. In a couple of days, God, that word distortion, ago, we met a woman who thanked us for helping keep the graveyard clean. And now this woman tells us we are aggressive when really she is the aggressor. I told the kids is exactly what they are doing is I'm helping them. And they mock, reject my help. God sent me to help them, repent, and they turn me away. I mean, my God. Again, the self-righteousness of her is insane. How anyone followed her YouTube channel, number one. You can see in the videos, she oozes self-righteousness. It's disgusting. Number one. Number two, Jody apparently, a famous around that area therapist, backed by the church, all this type of stuff. Insane to me that these people had a following of this level. Absolutely insane to me. I cannot wrap my head around that. The kids seem a bit affected because they are so numb. I don't know how long it will be. It will hold. R is very emotional. E not so much. She is seeing and hearing evil. I told her that she invited evil. It's her change to now send them away. You created this, E. The good news is because you created this, you can destroy this. Send them away. August 1st, 2023, Tuesday. Jody went to Tuscan today to look at property of 500 acres. E and R are both defiant and unwilling to soften. This were perpetually screamed outside. Jody and I accommodated her and took her to Hellhole Road. I mean, God, is that the road that Jody lives on? Yes, this is such a road on your way to Las Vegas. She was to something the dirt road, run on the dirt road. She ran for a bit and then started manipulating. I told her to run up an incline on a hillside, touch a tree, and return 100 yards max. She threw herself into a tree. Jody pulled her out, breaking her flip-flops. Poor thing. After an hour of jumping in bushes, we get in the truck to find a cactus. Blank walked right up to the cactus and threw herself into the middle of it. It was unhuman. She acted like it didn't hurt at all. She cuddled right in. I watched her press her foot against a cactus ear. I watched with my mouth open. She is so numb. After being cozy with the cactus, E got up and spoke with Jody for about 10 minutes. Jody and E walked to the truck and I rolled down the window. E said, "Hey, may I have permission to speak?" "Yes." "Can I have another chance at running the hill?" "Yes." We get in the truck and drive to the hill. E gets out and comes to my window. "Mother, what would you like me to do?" I instructed her to run to the dead tree and then come back. E replied, "I would rather jump into a cactus." What evil, what deception. This girl would choose to be shot and die than to humble. Do what she is told. There is no pain point where she will turn. The next day, July 30th, Sunday, we put E in the closet and contemplate what to do. She screams much of the day. She doesn't get water. If she screams, she refuses to eat. July 31st, Monday, Jody wakes up from a dream. God lets her know we have done everything we can to get E's attention. Again, shocked that the children are alive. This just keeps getting worse. I'm trying to imagine. Imagine these kids' perspective where your mom's hanging out, living with this Jody woman. You're going out. You're in the desert. You would rather go jump and land in a cactus than to have to go in the desert heat and do this. And again, it's never enough. I don't think it was going to be enough until they died. I think that was the end goal for Jody and Ruby, was for the children just to kind of off themselves through physical labor. If they had gotten to the land, that's what would have happened. They would have just worked them to death. The amount of times these kids are going without water and stuff is insane. It is absolutely insane. Okay, let's get over here to this last page for this. Lord, don't continue the physical interventions. They will only bring resentment. E is angry about her feet. Dress her wounds and leave her to be. This intervention gives the opportunity for E to soften and see that we aren't hurting her. Jody cleansed her heels. The hydrogen peroxide didn't sting. E is numb to it. The spirit was very strong as Julie and I witnessed Jody cleaning what didn't deserve to be cleaned. After dressing the wounds, Jody carried her back to the closet. E did scream and sulk and ask for water. I gave her lunch, leftovers over several meals she wouldn't eat, and she finally ate. I gave her water and then the scriptures. This is the first opportunity to have reading material since coming to Jody's. My God. Me, when you see God, he will judge you out of these books. Did you honor your mother? No. Did you keep up his commandments? No. Did you repent? No. You're in big trouble. You better get really familiar with what's in here. R's feet are swelling from standing. He is angry. Nobody cares. I told him he's acting like a man having a heart attack and gets his feelings hurt because nobody cares about the sliver in his finger. When your soul is dying, nobody cares about your feet. Okay, so let's do some final thoughts on this. I cannot. Again, the end goal had to have been for them to die. The level that it doesn't matter what these kids do, that any person can see where it's like the kids are doing this because you are torturing them, okay? And they're slowly dying, right? They're on their way, right? We were probably days, if not weeks away from this happening. So the fact that her and Jody seem to make it their day's mission to just wake up and put these kids through living hell blows my mind. And again, stuff that they themselves are probably not willing to do. The fact that somebody could sit there on their judgment stoop and bestow this onto these kids blows my mind absolutely out of the water. Again, thank God he escaped. Thank God he went to the neighbors. I mean, I'm just trying to imagine what it would feel like doing this stuff out in this desert heat with no water. And then just the way that she interacts, like going out to this graveyard and being like, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this? Go away. And her self-righteous entitlement of, no, I'm going to help you. I mean, it extends to everybody. And then the way you see how her mind works, it was her that's the issue. I'm telling you, they don't see anything wrong with what they did. They don't see anything wrong at all. Okay? I don't know if they ever would. I don't know how you come from this to, oh my God, what was I doing? All she's doing, and I'm talking about Ruby, is blaming Jody because that's what she's supposed to do. And it's the easy way out. 100%, if Ruby got out of prison in 2 years and met another cult person who had the same type of beliefs, she'd be right in it. She'd be right in it. How do you fix this personality type? You don't. You know what I'm saying? You get the kids away from them is what you do. So that's it. We're going to continue on this one. Hopefully maybe there'll just be one more after this. We'll see. I can do about 10 pages of video on these. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you are still watching, I do appreciate it. Roscoe says thank you, and to drop some sofas down in the comment section so we can hang out on those sofas and talk about this case and others. And until we do, we'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. Also, if you're looking for merch, be sure to check out my Teespring store. I'll put that up here. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.